Is Kim Curtis, CEO of Wealth Legacy Institute, and I have had this burning question on my mind this last month, particularly, and it is, I can't believe I did it. Like, think about that. When was the last time that you took a risk and you said, "Wow, that was amazing. I can't believe I did it and took the risk." And that's been on my mind. Last month, we moved into a new home. And we were in the old home for 26 years. It was our first time home buyer house. Um, and think about that. Think about what it took to say, you know what? It's time to think of what else can we do? What's different? We dug out the basement and made it nice. It was a scary, ugly basement, and we made it nice. We actually popped the top and created a second floor as our family grew. And we thought it was this beautiful place. And what happens is all of a sudden you realize, but is it really what you want? And what kind of risk do you want to take to do that? I tell you, I felt like I was in like freshman year of college. We move into this new house, which we love, by the way. It's absolutely fabulous. And there's a neighborhood block party. So here we are. It's like you're meeting these new neighbors, and it's like, do you like me? I hope they like me. And then you think, oh gosh, this is so crazy weird after 26 years of knowing who your neighbors are, really controlling the block, so to speak, on who you hang out with. And here you are starting all over. So I want to ask you kind of what have you done lately? What have you done lately to feel like you're growing? Because what do we say in life is that if you're not growing, you're dying. And what are the things that we need to do to improve or to say yes about? So that's the topic today. And here we go. So I think what holds most of us back is fear. I mean, and my mentor, Jack Canfield, uses a term. He says, fear is fantasized experiences appearing real. Think about that. So we have fear when we don't feel like we have control over something, or we're afraid that someone's going to say no, um, or we're just plain old not ready to do it, and we're pretty comfortable with where we're at. So ask yourself those questions like what is it that provokes fear? Is it really fear? Um, and what are the things that make you afraid? Afraid to do. Okay, so if you don't want to do it, well, what are the things that make you afraid to do? So, for instance, afraid to ask my boss for a raise, afraid to retire and start my dream business, afraid to leave my job that I hate, afraid to, in my relationship, have the difficult conversation. So, what are those things that you're afraid about? And if you kind of addressed it differently, like, I want to retire and start my dream business, and I scare myself by imagining that I'll go broke and have to sell my house. Or I want to ask my boss for a raise, and I scare myself by imagining that they'll say no and have a bad impression of me. So if you did that, I want to, whatever that is, and then say, but I scare myself by imagining whatever that is. And then to get rid of the fear, we insert the opposite of what we're afraid of. So, or I'm afraid I want to invest in the capital markets and I scare myself by imagining that I'll lose money. Well, I want to invest in the capital markets and I scare myself that, or that I'm so happy that I made a lot of money that I did it. Or I want to retire and step off and do my dream business. And it's going to be fabulous. And I'm going to have the happiest life in the world. And I'm going to make lots of money. And if you can imagine it and believe it and feel it, think of the risks that you're more likely to take. And that's what we did with our house. It was like, oh my gosh, what does that vision look like? And imagine this beautiful house with an open floor plan, with a lot of sunlight coming in, with water features, and all these things. And then all of a sudden, when you believe it and you can vision it, the likelihood that it comes your way. But the second thing, when you think about growth starts with taking risk and saying yes, the second is build a team. around you to help you succeed, whatever that looks like. When I studied for my certified financial planner designation, I actually sat for that exam two different times, pregnant with both children. What was I thinking? That was so stupid. And failed. Hello, both times. And what I had to do is get a team around me. I ended up having some colleagues that were also studying with me, and we took 6 months of classes together and built this cone of support for each other. And we studied together. And of course, having a support team, I passed the CFP with this great grade, and realized all along that on my own, I was incapable of getting past the things or doing the things I needed to do to make it happen. So get a team, hire a coach, all those things that allow you to get past yourself to make it happen. Um, and that's really important. And then last, and gosh, I'm shaking even thinking about this third point, and that is really our self-image. How do we show up? Do we believe in who we are? And do we even know what we want? Because once you know what you want, without a doubt, and you have the self-image to know that you deserve it, that's the key. I mean, that's when things really happen for you and for me and for us, is to know you deserve it. And so there's kind of a framework around that I wrote down that would be really helpful. Um, it's like, I got this. And what do we need to do to say, I got this, I'm going for it? And it's five things. The first is that when you take a risk and you say yes, there's really a no lose situation around that because you didn't have it to begin with. So by saying yes, and it may not work the way you wanted it to, but at least you took a step in that direction and you course correct. So you're better off than where you were before. And second is do your homework. Obviously, you just don't go for it. You go and look at all the houses in the neighborhood. What is the area that you want to live in? What are the things that you want? Do your homework so that you know what's a good price. And then prioritize. What is important to you in that? What are the features in the home that we really wanted to have? What are the things when you step off and retire? What does that business look like? And prioritize what's important to you. And then trust your instincts, trust your intuition, your impulse, trust yourself. And that gets back to self image. And then lastly, lighten up and laugh at yourself because sometimes things just don't go the way we plan, but we did it. And the fact that we said yes to it means that we're growing. And in life, that's what it's all about. It's funny. I have a client that I tell you, I adore her so much. Her name is Barbara. And Barbara says she wants to slide into home plate all used up. Now that is a risk taker of life. And that is what I challenge all of us. That's kind of my new motto. It was 8 years ago that she shared that with me. And here I am sharing that with you today. Slide into home plate all used up versus playing it safe and then shoulda didn't by the time we are at the end of our rope. So, what is your biggest risk? What have you taken and how did it go? How did it go? What's your biggest risk and how did it go? And what scares you about not taking a risk? So I ask that. Please tell me what you're thinking. And thank you for being with me today. And please remember to invest in life well. Thank you.